How on earth did they convince us that burning stuff and spewing CO2 into the air and pollution into the lungs of local people was good for the environment? I am talking here, of course, about so-called energy from waste, where local councils across the globe are building multi-million facilities, multi-million pound facilities to burn your household waste and turn it into energy. In a world where to avoid climate catastrophe, it is now absolutely vital to reduce the amount of waste we produce, the idea of building facilities that rely on a continued stream of excess waste to operate is bordering on batshit crazy. Or perhaps there's some capitalism going on here. When you throw something away, there is no away. It has to go somewhere, and in this case, that is more CO2 into the atmosphere. Today, I'm going to give you 12 very basic reasons why I think that energy from waste is a very bad idea. Anyway, let's get on with it. So, number one, if the leak in your tap or faucet gets so bad that your sink is overflowing, don't make the plug hole bigger, fix the fucking leak. Number two, if you are now too overweight and unfit to be able to struggle into your small Ford Picayune, the best thing to do is to start walking a bit more rather than buying an SUV. Number three, if you gradually find yourself with too many bottles to carry on your weekly trip to the bottle bank, it is maybe time to reassess your drinking, not to make more trips. Hands up who didn't have that conundrum over lockdown. Anyway, number four, waste is not an effective fuel. It's like using coal and steam to power trains, only in this case, the coal is the waste and the steam produces the energy to produce electricity. There is a reason why we don't have steam trains anymore. Number five, this is not renewable energy. This is virgin plastics and virgin forests that are used only once, then burned. It is entirely the opposite of a sustainable circular economy. Number six, in some parts of the world, this greenwashing scam has already been exposed with some areas of the EU and the US trying to bring in legislation to stop them being built. Number seven, even the most advanced facilities cannot avoid the release of all harmful toxins into the air, tiny particles and pollutants that get into the waterways, air and soil across a wide local and national area, causing cancer, premature death, lung and heart problems, particularly if you live close by to a facility. Number eight, burning waste emits more CO2 per megawatt hour than coal or gas-fired plants. Number nine, if your local authority have one of these facilities, they will most likely be locked into a 25 or even 35-year-old contract to burn a minimum amount of waste when we should be moving away from waste. Number 10, the petroleum and fossil fuel industries love them because it means that they can continue, if we all buy into this greenwashing, to produce plastic with impunity. Number 11, we need to be moving towards zero waste or less waste, not burning waste. We really have no choice here. Number 12, if you order your new Tesla personal vibrator online from Love Bunny and use it once, unless it is a terrible disappointment, you are most likely going to clean it thoroughly and save it for another occasion. You are not going to throw it away, and you are certainly not going to burn it. So whether it's your personal vibrator, your plastic carrier bag, your takeaway coffee cup, the little plastic tray that your mushrooms, sushi or finely cut mixed vegetables come in, all used for about 12 minutes apparently, burning these things and spewing CO2 into the atmosphere for the inefficient production of electricity should not be happening. And in fact, apart from the Tesla item, none of these things should even exist in the first place. When you throw something away, there is no away. Even when these corporations pretend there is, the answer is not to bury it, burn it, send it to China, Malaysia or Turkey, or even to recycle it. The only hope we have is not to use it in the first place. And this is where our efforts need to be. Behind every one of these initiatives is a corporation whose only aim is to make money. And when you have a decent sized greenwashing marketing budget and a flawed business plan, you can convince most feckless politicians that burning stuff and spewing CO2 into the air and pollution into the lungs of local people is good for the environment. They may be able to convince them, but they are not convincing me. How about you? How about you? Ever get the feeling you've been cheated? So coming up next is return to the Angry People's Postbag, where Doris...
Climate change.
Yes, Doris. Reads a message from Charlene, who has some interesting views on deep state. But if you care about this stuff, and you should, please do subscribe to my channel. Let me have your feedback or questions. And don't forget to whip the like button. Doing all or any of these things really does help me spread the word and hopefully affect positive change. Oh, and don't forget to share this video.
And now it's time for Angry People's Postbag with Doris.
So, welcome back to the Angry People's Postbag. This week's offering comes from Charlene, who has some thoughts about the deep state. So, over to you, Doris.
Climate change. Formerly known as man-made global warming. That's a deep state scam, innit? They were originally going to do global cooling ice age scare, weren't they? But then, at the end of the 70s, the global temperatures began to rise. So they did a flip and did a man-made global warming scare instead.
Oh, Charlene, I wish I could believe you. I really do. The simple idea, the simplicity of it, that all of these world leaders who are unable to agree on anything apart from, well, not even COVID-19, I mean, to a point, I suppose, have actually been in cahoots together for decades must be very reassuring. It explains everything and gives us a villain as well without actually having to do anything or to change the way we live. It's a beautiful idea, and I can see why some people buy into it. Thank you, Doris. Thank you, Charlene. And thank you for watching. And if you liked this video, you might also like another one I did on our rivers being polluted. It deals with the same thing. Corporations making money from what is essentially a public service, or should be. So this one might be worth watching. And here's one on the Holocene, which gives some science on what this is all about. And thank you again for watching.
Formerly known as man-made global warming. That's a deep state scam, innit?